Namaste, yogis. Today is a classic yoga class, classic Hatha yoga, starting with the sun salutation. Please don't do the back bend if you've got any back issues or neck issues. Try and feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Step back with your right leg first to drop onto the knee, chin up. Come down into plank, bend the elbows, come down into the crocodile, and exhale into down dog. Step the right leg forward, it's called the equestrian. Step the feet together to the top of the mat, chin tucked in. And on the inhalation, arms to the ceiling. If your neck is healthy, back is healthy, drop the head back. Try and bring the palms together. On the exhalation into a forward bend, try and shift your weight to the front of the foot. This time the left leg goes back, drop onto your knee, hips down, chin up. Step the right leg back, hold it in plank. You can drop onto the knees, do the caterpillar, push through into the cobra. Exhale into down dog. Work your heels down, try and get your chest to your thighs. Step forward with the left leg into the equestrian. Bring the feet together. And on the inhalation, arms to the ceiling. Arch your back, look to your thumbs, and bring the hands into prayer. That's one round. One more round. Try and get the breathing right. Breathing in. And as you exhale into a forward bend, right leg back into the equestrian. Left to right, take it into plank. Come down into chaturanga, push through into cobra. Exhale into down dog. Step the right leg forward. Step the feet together. Keep the weight to the front of the foot. Keep the belly tight and tucked in. Breathe in, coming up. Arch your back. Look to your thumbs. Exhale into the forward bend. Shift your weight to the front of the foot. Big step back with your left leg. Step the feet together. Come down into crocodile. Push through. And exhale into down dog. Take the left leg forward. Drop the hips. Step the feet together. Hold the forward bend. Breathe in, coming up. Arch your back. Look to your thumbs. Bring the thumbs to the middle of the chest. Nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring the arms out to the sides this time. It's called the swallow dive. Now put your hands on your shin bones, and as you exhale, drop down, and as you inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Exhale and drop. Try and feel the stretch in the hamstrings. We're warming up those hamstrings. Working with the breath, breathing in as you lift, and breathing out as you lower. Place your hands to the outside of the feet. Step your feet to the back of the mat, feet hip distance. Hold them in the plank position, body straight like a plank. Don't allow the head to hang. Spread the fingers, push back into the heels, keep the belly tight. And watch the rhythm of the breath. As you exhale, take it into Adho Mukha Savasana, down dog. If your heels are touching the mat, wriggle your feet back till the heels just start to lift. Try and bring the shoulder blades together. Gaze towards your knees or your navel and tilt the sitting bones towards the ceiling. Fingers stay spread. Now lift your right leg, step your right leg forward. Don't have the legs too far apart. Make sure both hip bones point to the front. The pelvis should be absolutely straight. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Slide your hands down the back of your leg. Open up in the chest. Drop the head back. Bring the shoulder blades together. Take those shoulder tips right back. Feel an opening up in the chest and the throat area. As you exhale, come into a forward bend. Pulling your arms towards your head if you have the capacity. Press the heel of the hands together and aim to keep that front leg straight. If there's any pulling behind the knee, bend the knee slightly. That's a tendon taking strain. Keep the belly pulled in, chin tucked in. Release your hands to either side of your foot and step your feet to the back of the mat, taking it back into down dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. Turn your right heel in, step forward with the left foot. Make sure the pelvis is in alignment. Interlace your fingers. Bring the legs closer together if you need to get the pelvis into alignment. Now open up in the chest, drop the head right back. Keep those hips level. You've got to take the back leg's hip and push it forward and the front leg's hip and push it back to align the pelvis. Bring those shoulder blades together. Feel that opening up in the throat and the chest. And as you exhale, take it into a forward bend. And if you have the capacity, press the heel of the hands together. Try and keep the pelvis in alignment. If there's any pulling at the back of that left leg's knee, then bend the knee slightly. Keep the belly tight. And keep pulling the arms towards the head. Release your hands to either side of your foot and step back into down dog. Now take it into three-legged down dog, lifting your leg. Bring the shoulder blades together. Keep gazing towards that knee of the leg you're standing on. And keep the pelvis level. Don't allow the hip to lift. You want to feel the stretch down the outside of the leg you're standing on. That's the iliotibial band. And as you exhale, swap legs. Keep gazing towards the knee. Keep the belly pulled in, chin tucked right in. Try and draw the shoulder blades together. And the fingers should be spread with V between each finger. Step forward with your right leg. Breathe in, coming up. Now turn to face the side and push into the heel of the hands. Straighten out your feet and bring the shoulder blades together. Feel that opening up in the chest. Now, without moving the legs, pull the feet in. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together. Interlace your fingers above your head. Turn your palms to face each other and bring the hands into prayer. As you exhale, drop the hips. Turn the toes out, heels in. Suck in the belly, tilt the pubic bone forward. Now, without moving, pull the knees in. Don't move the feet, just pull the knees in towards the center line of the body. Try and keep the torso straight. Don't lean forward. Push into the heel of the hands to activate the shoulder muscles. As you inhale, take it up again. Straighten out your feet. Interlace your fingers behind your back. And as you exhale, pull the hands over your head. If you have the capacity, press the heel of the hands together. Now shift your weight to the front of the foot and the abdominal muscles will kick in. Relax your jaw. Keep pulling the arms towards your head and keep the weight to the front of the foot. Release your hands to under your shoulders. Line your tips of the fingers up with the tips of the toes in a straight line and slowly straighten the arms. Flex into the wrists. Peel your palms off the floor, bend the fingers back. Feel the stretch onto those fingers. Keep the weight to the front of the foot. Now come onto your fingertips and keep bending the fingers back. Feel the stretch into the palm of the hands. Lift your chin and keep your weight to the front of the foot. Exhale and fold, reaching for your ankles. Now try and pull your chest to your thighs, belly tight, chin tucked right in. Keep the weight to the front of the foot. Keep those core muscles active. Bring your hands to your hips and very slowly come up because you've been upside down. You don't want to pass out coming up too quickly. Now turn your right foot to point directly away from you. Lift your left heel, push it back. Square the hips. And as you exhale, bring your hand to your ankle into the Trikonasana, the triangle posture. Try and align the arms, stack the shoulder blades, turn the head to look to the palm of the raised hand. Feel the stretch on the inner thigh. You might feel it between the shoulder blades. Turn your head to look down at your right foot. Both hands to the outside of the foot and give that triangle posture a twist. Vritti Trikonasana. Stack the shoulder blades. Turn your head to look to the palm of the raised hand. Try and keep both legs straight. One hand on either side of the foot. Step back into down dog, which is a resting posture. Keep working the heels down, bring those shoulder blades together, gaze towards the knees or the navel. Trikonasana, leading with the left leg. Bring your left leg forward, don't have the legs too wide apart. Square your hips. Lift your right heel, push it out so that your foot is a 45-degree angle. Keep your shoulder over your shin bone. Try not to lean forward. If you lean forward, you're not going to stretch the psoas muscle. And the Trikonasana is the only posture that stretches the entire psoas muscle. It's known as the muscle of the soul in yoga. It's a muscle that tightens up during stressful periods. Very long muscle, one of the longest muscles in the body. It also causes upper thoracic spinal problems, hip problems, knee problems. All right, we're going to twist this triangle. Bring the legs a little closer if you need to. Both hands to the outside of your leg. Float the arm up, turn the head to look to the palm of the raised hand and aim to get both legs straight. If you can't reach the floor, you can put a block next to your leg or just reach as far down on the leg as you can. It's not about coming down low, it's about doing the technique correctly so you stretch the psoas. So if your hand only comes down to your calf muscle, that's good enough, or maybe even just your knee, that's good enough. As you exhale, take it back into down dog to realign the pelvis. Focus on the breath. Keeping the legs straight if possible, walk your feet to the middle of the mat, then walk your hands onto your fingertips. Now push the hips back and feel a lengthening in your spine. You might want to crawl your fingers a little further forward so you're really lengthening in the spine. Chin tucked right in. Keep pushing the hips back and fingertips forward. Bend your knees, bring your hands into prayer in the middle of the chest and slowly straighten out the torso looking straight ahead. Now feel the stretch in your Achilles tendon behind the heel. Push into the heel of the hands, look straight ahead. Relax the jaw. Reach your arms up above your head and then interlace your fingers behind your back. Wait for the exhalation as you drop the head back. Bring those shoulder blades together. Feel that opening up in the throat and the chest. As you exhale, come into a forward bend, pulling the arms over the head. If you can, press the heel of the hands together. Now gently shift your weight to your toes. That forces the core muscles to work, putting the body slightly off balance. Keep the chin tucked right in so the cerebral spinal fluid slosh down into the brain. The nutrients for the brain are kept in that spinal fluid. Keep your jaw relaxed. Bend your knees again. Bring the hands into prayer. And we're going to twist. Get your elbow to the outside of the knee. Try and get your thumbs to touch in the middle of the chest. This is the twisted fierce pose. Breathe in, coming up, reaching the arms up above the head. And as you exhale, take it over to the other side. Try and get your elbow to the outside of the knee first, and then aim to get your thumbs right in the middle of the chest. See if you can drop the hips. Turn the head to look to the ceiling. Breathe in, coming up. Look to your hands. Exhale and fold so you realign the vertebra of the spine. Chin tucked right in. If you can, reach for the back of the heels and pull the chest to the thighs. Keep the belly tight to protect your lower back. Going into toppling tree, holding onto your right leg. Raise the left leg and try and pull your chest to your thighs. Use your left fingertips on the mat to help you balance. A little more advanced, if you reach for your foot, pull the heel to the opposite glute and lift the knee towards the ceiling. Try and keep the supporting leg straight. Lift the knee. Both feet back on the mat and swap legs. Pull the chest to the thighs, chin tucked in. If you're up for it, bend your knee and bring the opposite heel to the opposite glute, lifting the knee to the ceiling. Both feet back on the mat, realign the pelvis. Bend the knees, come into a little squat onto the balls of the feet. Try and straighten out your back. Stack the vertebrae of the spine and try and keep it absolutely steady. Balances are there to still the mind. Focus on the breath. Try and keep it absolutely still. Only if your knees are healthy, drop onto the knees, interlace your fingers behind your back, draw the shoulder blades together, feel an opening up in the chest. If possible, lift the arms, take the shoulder tips back, head dropped right back. Now place the knuckles on the ball of the foot, making tight fists, and lift your hips. Drop the head back, feel an opening up in the chest, and feel the pressure on the ball of the foot. There are pressure points all over the body. And by pressing your fists into the ball of the foot, you stimulate the kidney energy. A counter posture, just drop the hips back down and pull your chin into your chest. Try and close the elbows. Bend the elbows, take the elbows right back. Try and squeeze the shoulder blades together, looking straight ahead. Now bring your right elbow inside the left without dropping the elbows. Exhale and fold. Using nice deep full breaths, feel the stretch across the shoulder blades. It's called cow face. It's also known as the eagle. Breathe, use the breath to stretch those ribs apart. On the inhalation, come back up. Bend the elbows again, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now bring your left elbow inside of the right. Lift the elbows, wait for the exhalation and fold. And don't forget to use the breath, stretching across the shoulder blades. If there's any discomfort in your knees, lift your hips slightly. You can also tuck the toes in, take some of the pressure off the knees. On the inhalation, straighten out the spine and fly out of the eagle. Now straighten the arms, push into the wrists, bring the hands into prayer behind your back, sliding the little fingers up your spine. If your neck is healthy, drop the head back, bring those shoulder blades together, and breathe. Try and establish a nice even rhythm to the breath, breathing into the lower lung. Now interlace your fingers in front of you, round out your back. Keep breathing into the shoulder blades, keep the belly pulled in, and feel the stretch on the lats, the muscles on the sides of the back. Try and push into the index finger and keep pushing your palms away from you. And take it into low plank. Come onto your forearms, push back into the heels. Don't let the head drop, keep the belly tight. Feet should be hip distance, and put the pressure on the forearms. As you exhale, lift the hips. If you're up for it, a little bit more advanced, do the flying dolphin, dropping the hips and try and touch the floor with your nose over your hands. Hold it back into low plank. Gently come down onto your knees, drop your glutes to your heels, extend your arms above your head. Chin tucked right in. Part your knees slightly if you're finding you can't breathe to allow the air to circulate. Now come up, swing both feet over to the left and exhale, twisting away from the knees, turn the head, turn the shoulders. Bring both knees into the chest in the floating embryo as a counter posture for twisting the spine. It just helps to realign the vertebra of the spine, gets the pelvis back into alignment, and forces you to balance, which quietens the mind. Now swing both feet over to the other side. And we're going to twist, turning away from the knees. Try and stack the shoulders. Drop your head slightly back as though you're listening to something behind your back, and you should feel the stretch behind your ear. Straighten out your legs again. Bend the knees slightly, soles of the feet facing, and just round out the back as a counter posture after twisting the spine. Straighten out your legs. And take it into the tabletop, putting your heels where your knees would be. Now lift the hips, push down into the soles of the feet. If your neck is healthy, drop the head right back. You can also turn your fingers the other way around, which is a little more advanced, brings more stretch into the wrist. Keep the feet and knees hip distance, keep the belly tight and squeeze the glutes. Try and swing your hips behind your arms, flexing into the heels. It works the core muscles, and if possible, lift one leg or both legs. Alternate legs. Slowly lower the hips, reach your arms up above your head. As you exhale, fold, sucking in the belly. Try and get your chest to your thighs. Try and press the back of the knees into the mat and keep flexing into the heels. Relax your jaw. Try and slow the breath. Slow the breath. By stretching the back of the legs, these are the longest nerves in the body. It helps the nervous system to relax. I take it into reverse plank, keeping the body straight. Lift the hips. If you can't lift the hips, just bend one leg. Try and bring those shoulder blades together. Drop the head back. Keep the belly tight. Try and get the soles of the feet on the mat. More advanced, you can turn the hands the other way around. As you exhale, gently lower the hips. Flip over onto your side. Put the top leg in front until you feel you've got your balance. When you've got your balance, stack the ankles. Take one arm up above the other. Turn your head to look into the raised hand. Try and extend into the back of the knees. Flex into the heels. Relax your jaw. Keep the belly pulled in. And breathe into the lats, the muscles on the sides of the back. We're going over to the other side, in the side plank. Stack the ankles once you've got your balance. Raise the arm. Try and keep the arms in alignment. If you feel confident, you can turn your head to look to the palm of the raised hand. Round out the back, drop the knees, suck the belly in, relax your jaw. Pull the knees towards your hips, chin tucked in, and turn over to the side, into the floating embryo. Lift your feet off the floor. This forces you to balance, which helps to still the mind. I'll lift the feet. If you're up for it, straighten the legs. Try and lengthen in the spine. If you feel confident, see if you can drop the head back. Try and pull the feet towards your ears, so you're balancing just on the sitting bones. Bring the soles of the feet together. Interlace your fingers around your toes. Then lift your chin and just lean forward. You can use the elbows to push the knees down, or you can bounce the knees. Just be aware of the perineum. A little more advanced. If you're up for it, as you exhale, round out the back. Try and press your elbows into the mat. If you can get your forearms on the floor, bring the hands into prayer just above the feet. Tuck in the chin. Relax the jaw and try and slow the breath. Keep working the knees down towards the mat. Keep working the chest down towards the feet. We're going into the Mariette twist. It's named after a sage. Try and stack the shoulders, turn the head all the way. Pull the knee towards the chest. The sole of the foot should be in contact with the floor. And both sitting bones remain glued to the mat. Aim to get the right leg stretched first. The general rule is to stretch the right side of the body first. Untangle your legs, wait for the exhalation, and as you exhale, take the stretch to the other side. Lengthen in the spine, turn the head and the shoulders all the way. Pull the knee into the chest. Try and keep the sole of the foot on the mat, close to the knee, toes pointing towards the knee. Let's take the flesh out from the sides of the buttocks. It'll help you balance. Now you can either keep the knees bent, or if you're up for it, straighten the legs and bring your forehead to your knees. Pull the legs towards your head. Keep the length in the spine. Flex into the heels, pull up the kneecaps if possible. Again, this is just a balance, and balances are there to still the mind. Cross the feet at the ankles. Lift the hips. If your neck is healthy, drop the head back, bring the shoulder blades together. Feel the stretch over the chest and into the thyroid, stimulating the thyroid and the thymus gland. And release. So to the back of the mat. Extend your right leg out to the side as far as the hips will allow. Reach for your toe with your little finger closest to the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your arm over your head. Try and stack the shoulder blades and try and push your head between your arms, looking up at the ceiling. Now breathe into the muscle that's stretching on the side of the body, right into that waist muscle, the QL. An important muscle. It helps to stabilize the pelvis. A muscle that doesn't get stretched nearly enough. Before going over to the other side, wait for the exhalation. So get the left leg as far out to the side, as far as your hips will allow. Bring your elbow to the inside of the knee. Reach for the foot. And turn the head to look between your arms up at the ceiling and breathe. Really use the breath to stretch the QL muscle. Try and take the top shoulder right back. And release. Now sitting with your legs in a wide V, it's always a good idea to keep your heels on the sticky mat. If you lift your torso and push it forward, the legs will part some more. Get a nice grip around your big toes using your index finger and your middle finger. And as you exhale, come into the forward bend. Try and get your chest down. Pulling on the toes. Slide your arms straight forward. Make sure the hands rest on the floor. Chin tucked in and relax your jaw. Keep flexing into the heels. Feel the stretch on the inner thigh, the lower back, and the muscles on the sides. Walk your hands back. Swing your legs to the end of the mat. Straighten out the pelvis. Hook your thumbs together, one thumb wrapped over the other. Take your arms up above your head. Now try and pull the arms apart as you spread the fingers. Your jaw parallel to the floor. Try and get the back as straight as possible. Press the back of the knees into the mat. Now hook your thumbs together the other way around and do the same, pulling the arms back and pulling the thumbs apart. Spread into the fingers. Bring the hands into prayer. Try and challenge your core and very slowly roll down onto your back, one vertebra at a time. Draw your knees into your chest. Extend your legs to the ceiling. Extend your arms up above your head, fingers interlaced, and turn the palms away from you into staff pose, Dandasana. Flex into the heels. Try and straighten the arms. Try and push into the index finger, your chin down towards your chest. Now turn the palms to face each other and pass your arms through your legs. Try and curl your shoulder tips forward. Little bounces with the legs. It helps to release the fascia on the inner thigh. Keep reaching forward, chin tucked right in. Now keep your shin bones still and make big circles with the ankles. Try not to use the hips, just use the ankles. Make your circles in both directions. Keep reaching forward. Keep the chin tucked in to stop straining your neck. Now flex into the heels and keep putting the legs down towards the floor. Interlace your fingers behind your head, close your legs. Now push your elbow tips to the ceiling, and if your back is okay, drop the legs 45 degrees. Keep pushing your elbow tips to the ceiling and feel the core muscles engage. Keep the belly tight, point into the toes and squeeze the toe mounds together, the bunion bones. Try and lift the shoulders and keep pushing the elbow tips to the ceiling. Bend your knees, place both feet on the floor and slowly lower your head. Bring your arms down to your sides, keeping the feet and knees hip distance. Now lift the hips into the bridge. Bring your chin to your chest, relax the shoulders. Now push into the feet. Little pulses, moving the hips up and down to work the glutes. Now as you lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, and as you drop the hips, relax the glutes. Lift and squeeze and release. Lift and squeeze and release. Really work those glutes, very important muscles that help to support the pelvis, all the time pushing down into the soles of the feet. Now lift and hold, push down into the soles of the feet, suck in the belly, lift the pelvic floor, relax your shoulders. Now watch the rhythm of the breath, navel pulled in tight, pelvic floor lifted. Best way to strengthen those pelvic floor muscles is to hold it in the bridge because you've got gravity helping you. As you exhale, slowly lower the hips, coming down one vertebra at a time and bring both knees into the chest. Now keep your right knee into your chest, extend the left leg along the mat, flex into the heel, lower your head back to the mat. Now reach for your foot. If you can't reach your foot, just hold on to the back of the leg and bring your forehead to your knee. Keep flexing into the heel. If possible, pull up the kneecap. Can't reach your foot, just hold on to the calf muscle, but try and keep the legs straight. If you've got very tight hamstrings, you're going to have to bend the knee. Now get a nice grip on your big toe using the opposite hand to the leg. Bring your other arm out to the side to help you counterbalance, so your right arm and right leg is opposite in movement. Now try and stack the hips as you pull the ankle towards your ear. Don't let the leg drop towards the floor. Keep your ankle in line with the hip and try and keep those hips stacked. As you exhale, try and pull the leg a little closer towards your ear. Don't force the body, work with the body. Bring both knees into the chest again just to realign the pelvis. And keep your left knee into your chest. Extend the right leg. Take the left leg to the ceiling. If you can reach your foot, otherwise hold on to the back of the calf muscle. Bring your forehead to your knee. Suck in the belly, chin tucked right in. Try and pull the leg towards your forehead, but don't force it. Try and keep both legs straight. Get a nice grip on your big toe. Bring your arm out to the opposite side. Exhale and twist and turn your head to look away from that foot over your left shoulder. Keep your ankle in line with the hip and try and stack the hips. If possible, try and pull that foot a little closer to your ear and watch the rhythm of the breath. Bring both knees into the chest again. We've twisted the spine, so this helps to realign the pelvis and the vertebra of the lower back. Feel the stretch in the lower back. Now bring your heels down as close to your glutes as you can. If you can curl your fingers around the ankles, hold onto the ankles. If not, just point your fingers towards your heels, but really lift the hips. Try and arch the back. Try and bring those shoulder blades together and keep the length in the back of the neck. Don't allow the knees to splay apart. Keep your kneecaps in line with your hip bones and get as much of an arch in that back as you can. This is the baby back bend. Gently lower the hips. Bring the knees into the chest as a counter posture. Bring your forehead to your knees so you're rounding out the whole spine, chin tucked right in. Into the laughing baby. Pass your arms through your legs. Bend your knees into your armpits. And very gently rock the pelvis from left to right. Soles of the feet face the ceiling, knees pressed into the armpits, and the tailbone stays down. Placing your hands on your knees, fingers pointing towards your feet, a little bit of pranayama, breathing exercise. As you exhale, pull the knees into the chest, and as you inhale, push the knees away from you. Try and feel a nice rocking motion in the pelvis. This helps to release a lot of energy into the body. And the rhythm of the breath is very important. The magic is in how you breathe. Finish by pulling the knees into the chest and extend your legs along the mat, one leg at a time. Part your legs slightly, turn your toes out, heels in. Your arms at about a 45-degree angle away from the body. Wriggle the shoulder blades closer together and bring your chin down towards your chest. Relax your jaw and breathe into the lower lung and not your chest. With every exhalation, try and feel a letting go. Relax. Try and slow the breath even more, breathing into the lower lung, not the chest. You can lie in Savasana for up to 5 minutes. Stay connected to the breath and try and empty your mind of all thoughts. Try and feel that letting go with every exhalation. Fingers softly curled and completely relaxed. Your jaw relaxed. Your pelvis relaxed. Your knees, your ankles. Just follow the rhythm of the breath. Very gently rub your thumb across your fingertips. Move your toes, your wrists, your ankles. Interlace your fingers above your head. Try and straighten your arms. Close the legs, flex into the heels. Now open your jaw really wide. Hold it open and keep breathing. This helps to release the kinetic chain down the entire length of the back of the body. And release. Bring your arms into your chest. Bring your knees into your chest. And very gently roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. And relax. As you inhale, slowly come up into sitting. Any comfortable seated position will do. Feel a lengthening in the spine. Try and increase the space between your shoulders and your earlobes. Close your eyes. Connect fully with the breath and bring the fingers into the chin mudra if you like, bringing the index finger and the thumb to touch. This is the mudra of learning. Connect fully with the breath. Try and still the mind. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.